Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Obviously today we've got an updated Chimera deck. This is the Chimera branded version, but only like a few branded cards. I'm like building up to it slowly. So I started off with no branded cards, now I've got a few branded cards. Then I'll try it out with like the more like half-half, the 50-50 sort of build. But I'm actually thinking already I prefer the pure build. The pure build's way more fun, I enjoy it more, and yeah, not really much else to say really. I just definitely prefer that build. But without further ado, let's get into it and let's get into my choices. So we'll start off with the Chimera stuff. So obviously what is customary is the 3 Sword Knight, the 3 Quattle, the 3 Gazelle, the 2 Baphomet, and the 3 Chimera Fusion. So obviously Mirror Sword Knight, you can quick effect tribute it on either your opponent's turn or your turn, and summon a monster that lists Chimera Fusion from your deck, and obviously that would be Baphomet is the better option in most situations. Quattle, you can discard it to add a monster that lists Chimera Fusion. Then obviously Gazelle, when it's normal or special summoned, you can add a level 5 Fiend or a Chimera Fusion from deck to hand, and then when it's used for fusion material, you can add an Illusionist monster from deck to hand. Baphomet, when it's normal or special summoned, you can add 1 level 4 Beast and or 1 Chimera Fusion from your deck to your hand. That also locks you into fusion summoning, just so you know, guys. And then if it's used for fusion material, you can target an illusion monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Chimera Fusion is just basically you can fuse using your hand or field, but you have to include either a beast, a fiend, just a beast or a fiend monster. Just to go over these, obviously, whilst you control Chimera the flying mythical beast, so like this basically, this is a negate on the field or in the graveyard. By banishing it, you can negate a monster that your opponent controls. Quattle, again, while you control this, negates an effect that targets one of your cards. So that can be really good against things like if someone's trying to cosmic your Chimera Fusion or something like that, that's set and stuff like that, or Book of Moon and things like that. So that's it for all the Chimera stuff. That is basically like pretty much what everyone plays. This is basically like it. Some people play only maybe 2 Fusion or 2 Gazelle, but the gist of it is that is the lineup basically, and that is literally all you need for the Chimera stuff, which is pretty cool. Then for the branded stuff, I've gone for 2 Fallen of Albaz, 1 Spriggan's Kit, which obviously is level 4 beast, you can add it with Baphomet, 1 branded in white, that's part of the combo to be able to make Mirror Jade. And then lastly, we've got 3 branded fusion. This is really good because this is a 1 card combo, the same as Quattle, Cornfield and Sword Knight are. So that's why this is really good. So now you basically have 9 1 card starters. So yeah, really cool. Really like that. Not much more to say about this. Everyone knows what the branded stuff does. The deck's been around long enough now. I cut the Patchwork stuff to play something different, and this is what I decided to play. I decided to play 2 King of the Swamp and 2 Polymerization. So I wanted to cut the Patchwork stuff, but I wanted to keep Poly in. Just playing 2 Poly felt weird, so I decided to play King of the Swamp as well. What's cool about King of the Swamp as well is you can actually use this as Fallen of Albaz in the grave. So that's why I discard that, add Poly, and now technically this is you've got a Fallen of Albaz in the grave for like if you go into Albion or Lubellion. So that's like really quite important, to be fair. And I just wanted to be able to get access to Polymerization so that my Chimera can't be targeted, which can be a big problem for a lot of decks. They just struggle to out it if it can't be targeted, and obviously you don't want it to be impermed and stuff like that. So when you're trying to resolve the effect. So yeah, I went for these 4, and they were really nice. Never drew multiples, and it was much better. I never bricked like I would normally on the Patchwork stuff. Then for the last basically half of the deck, it is just go second cards. So we've got 2 Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs. It's just quite good in generic. It can be like reasonably okay against most decks. So yeah, 2 of those. 2 Draw and Lockbird. This definitely needs to be upped to 3, just because it is such a big blowout. But again, it is a very, very good card. Really good at the mirror at the moment. Really bad against Unchained though, but yeah. And then 3 Kashtira Fenrir. This is probably what I would cut. I would put Fenrir down to 2 and Draw and Lockbird down to up to 3. Fenrir is obviously not great against the meta at the moment, but I just like that you can special it. It gives you a form of interruption on your opponent's turn, and then you can add a body, which you can use for Chimera, which is what I do it mostly. Then just because there's just so much room, I obviously played 2. I played like a few bestials, just because my locals do have quite a few things going on, and I had those 3 and couldn't think of what else to play. But the bestials are again, you can Druid's Worm. You can Chimera Fusion with a Druid's Worm on field, and then you can get Chimera that's going to pop 1 or 2, and then Druid's Worm is also going to send 1, so it works quite well like that. 3 Infinite Impermanence, I just think it's quite nice. A lot of people now have got like talents and stuff like that in their deck, so I would rather play this over Veiler. Then the best card second card is Super Poly. This card is just so good, it's so fucked. Yeah, it's just broken, isn't it? Like, you just can't be responded to that. And now with Garura and Mud Dragon, you can basically poly with absolutely anything. So, yeah, it's very rare that you can't make something now. And then the last card in my deck, it's not really a go second card, but it's just 1 called by the grave. Yeah, no crossouts this time. I did regret that instantly. I lost a couple of games at locals just because of like Ash and stuff like that. So I wish I had the crossouts, but it is what it is. Then on to the extra deck. I played 2 Chimera, the King of Phantom Beasts. So obviously, as this is a new card, just read it out for you guys. This card's name becomes Chimera, the Chimera, the flying mythical beast. While on the field or in the graveyard, you can only use each of the following effects once per turn. So when it's summoned, basically you can just use the effect that in the end phase your opponent discards a random card from their hand, and then when it's in the graveyard you can banish it and then special summon a fiend, beast or an illusion from the grave. Then I played 2 Chimera, the Illusion Beast. This probably got down to 1, you just don't make it enough. But yeah, this is definitely going to go down to 1. So this is basically just a really good like OTK enabler. It takes Chimera, the flying mythical beast, so this or King of the Swamp, which is another cool reason why I played it. And then as many illusion monsters, and then it can attack up to as many times as how many materials you use. So if you use like 3 illusion monsters and a flying mythical beast, you can attack 4 attack 4 times. And then once you finish attacking, use the effect, you can negate the monster, it goes to 0, and then you can just keep attacking it. And that monster is negated, so really cool for like OTKing. Let me move these there. Then 2 Guardian Chimera, it's basically Guardian Chimera deck. This deck has a really bad matchup against Unchained, which is kind of unfortunate because there's like 3 at my locals on Friday, so yeah, not great. Then for like the branded stuff, the best one is Rinbrump, just because sending Albaz and Gazelle gets you access to your Mirror Knight, which means you're gonna full combo, and then obviously you've now got another form of interruption. So really good. Then we've got 1 Mirror Jade, don't really make it very often to be fair. 1 Albion, the branded dragon, can just help. Sometimes you just want to send Mirror Knight or something like that. 1 Lubellion. This can actually shuffle back like your Chimera from grave and stuff like that to make the illusion, so it can come really in handy. And then 1 Magnum the Reliever. In theory this is quite good, I just didn't make it that often, I just need to get used to it. Then the last few cards are just like super poly targets basically. I've got 1 Dragon Stapelia just for like another form of interruption. If I can set it up on my turn, then I will. 1 Mud Dragon of the Swamp, really good. I really liked that. And then lastly, 1 Garura, Wings of Resonant Life. Yeah, these 2 are basically like the ones really. for Super Poly. Okay guys, but that's it for the deck profile. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. How are you playing it? Are you playing it with the heavy branded stuff, a small branded package, no branded package? You playing the like Chimera version that people are playing? I'm not a big fan of that, I won't lie. Let me know in the comment section down below. Hit the thumbs up button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.